The story begins with Laura, a well-known journalist. She writes articles based on real events, and every article she publishes becomes popular, increasing the magazine's sales. Everyone was congratulating her on her latest viral article when she received an invitation from a wealthy family for a 3-day trip on a yacht. Laura felt excited and accepted immediately. Her boss approved her leave because of her excellent performance. When she arrived on the yacht, she was welcomed by several important people. Among them was Ben, someone from her past with whom she had completely cut all contact. She did not want her trip to be ruined because of him. Ben understood her expression and approached her, calmly saying that he felt the same way and that neither of them needed to revisit the past. They agreed not to start any relationship again. Laura was assigned cabin number 8. Cabin 10 was directly next to hers. Someone inside cabin 10 was smoking, and when the yacht began to move, the cigarette ash and filters blew into her room. She picked them up and threw them into the dustbin. Later, everyone gathered for the launch meeting. They introduced themselves, and Laura learned that Ben was there as a famous photographer. Dinner time was announced, and everyone was told to arrive on time. Laura went to her room to get ready and then joined them for dinner. The dinner was hosted by a wealthy man named Richard. His wealth actually belonged to his wife, Anne, who was seriously ill. During dinner, Anne sent someone to call Laura to her room. Anne told Laura that she was a big admirer of her work and had read all her articles. Anne said she had written something herself and asked Laura to read it. The page stated that Anne had transferred all her property and bank accounts to a charitable trust. Laura was shocked and asked why she had done that. Anne explained that she was in the final stage of cancer and only had a short time left. She wanted to help others before her life ended. Anne said she planned to announce this decision at the end of the trip. After saying this, Anne placed the will in a locker and hid the key among her books. Laura saw this. On her way back to her cabin, Laura crossed paths with Ben. The two shared a moment of closeness while talking, but Laura stopped herself and returned to her cabin. That night, she woke up to noises coming from cabin 10. She heard a man shouting at a woman. Laura went to the upper deck to see what was happening and witnessed a man pushing a woman off the yacht into the water. She immediately reported it to the crew. Everyone on board woke up and searched the area, but no one was found. Laura insisted she had seen it clearly. The crew checked the guest list and confirmed that all guests and staff members were accounted for. This led them to believe that Laura had either imagined it or dreamt it. Laura continued to insist that cabin 10 was occupied. She explained that before dinner she had gone inside cabin 10 to hide from someone who was following her and had seen a girl showering inside. She also mentioned the cigarette filters from earlier, but when she checked her dustbin, the filters were gone. It was clear someone had removed them. No one believed her and they walked away. Laura became certain that something was wrong. The next morning, she explained everything to Richard. At her request, he gathered the entire crew, checked the guest list again, and reviewed the CCTV footage, yet there was still no evidence. Laura then went to speak with Anne, but Anne behaved unusually and said she had taken her medication and would not be able to understand anything at the moment. She went to sleep. Feeling distressed, Laura went to Ben and told him everything. Ben told her not to involve herself in any of this. Ben warned her that the people on the yacht were extremely wealthy, and that getting involved with them could destroy her entire career. He told her she had taken time off from work and should enjoy herself instead of causing trouble. However, Laura's thoughts continued to trouble her. She asked Ben if he had taken photos of the entire event and requested to see them. While looking through the photos, Laura recognized the same girl she had seen in cabin 10. She immediately took the photo to Richard, but Richard insisted that no one on the yacht matched that girl's appearance. Once again, no one believed her. Feeling defeated, Laura stopped trying to convince anyone. She went to take a shower, but during that time someone wrote the word "stop" on the fog bathroom glass, frightening her. She quickly put on a robe and ran to follow the person, but could not see their face. She asked the cabin crew to check the CCTV cameras, but they told her the cameras were not working at the time. This made Laura even more certain that something was being hidden. Determined to uncover the truth, she decided to investigate quietly on her own. She climbed out of her bathroom window into the bathroom of cabin 10. She opened the drainage pipe and found strands of the girl's hair. Laura wrapped the hair carefully and later showed it to Ben. She told him that no one had believed her, but now she finally had proof that the girl in cabin 10 had been real and had been murdered. She hid the hair safely in her room. After some time, a famous social media influencer, Alexa, called her and warned her to stop investigating. She told her that even if she found proof, it would not harm such powerful people and would only destroy her own life. Laura ignored the warning. She then showed the girl's photograph to the cabin crew again, but they all said they had never seen her. Laura asked them whether it would be possible to secretly bring someone on board. One crew member explained that it would be nearly impossible because every person would have to pass through multiple security checks. The next morning, Laura was standing near the railing, watching the ocean. when someone pushed her. Instead of falling into the sea, she fell into the yacht's swimming pool. The person then closed the pool gate, leaving her trapped underwater. Laura struggled to escape, but none of the pool doors would open. From the upper deck, one of the women noticed her drowning and rushed to open the gate, saving her life. When Laura regained consciousness, she found Ben, Richard, and Anne's doctor standing nearby. Richard and the doctor insisted that Laura was exhausted and imagining things. They told her that since she arrived, she had disrupted everyone's trip, and they suggested she needed rest. Laura tried to explain again that she had seen the girl in cabin 10 and that whoever killed the girl now wanted to kill her as well. She said the person had pushed her and locked the pool gate to drown her. To prove her claim, she went to retrieve the girl's hair from where she had hidden it. However, the hair was gone. Someone had taken it. Laura began to suspect Ben, because he was the only one she had told about the hair. However, Ben was not involved in any of it. Someone else had overheard their conversation that day. Feeling defeated and unable to prove the girl's existence, Laura quietly returned to her room. A few minutes later, there was a knock on her door. When she opened it, she saw the same hooded girl and immediately followed her. The girl ran into the engine room, and Laura chased her there. When Laura finally caught up and pulled back her hood, she realized the girl was the same one from cabin 10. Her wig fell off, revealing that she looked exactly like Anne. Before Laura could say anything, the woman struck her on the head, knocking her unconscious. Several hours later, Laura woke up in a hidden section of the yacht. She tried to escape but found that the stairs had been removed. Shortly after, the girl returned. Laura told her, step by step, what she now understood: the girl was not Anne, but a look-alike, and had been thrown overboard so that this double could take her place and claim her property. The girl began to cry and said she never meant for any of this to happen. She admitted that Richard had brought her here, and had planned to donate all of her wealth to a charitable trust because she was dying. Richard could not accept this. He planned to replace Anne before the will was publicly announced. At the event, the girl was supposed to pretend to be Anne and read a statement saying she was voluntarily giving all of her property to Richard. Laura understood now why everything had happened. Meanwhile, the real Anne was still missing, and Richard had no intention of letting the truth be discovered. Anne's doctor, Maida, was working with Richard. When Richard realized Laura was missing, he ordered the doctor to inject her with poison as soon as she was found. The girl disguised as Anne overheard this and, in the middle of the night, went to Laura to warn her. Laura told her that after she completed Richard's plan, Richard would likely kill her too, because she was a witness to Anne's murder. The girl began to cry again. Laura promised she would help her and ensure justice for Anne. With the girl's help, Laura escaped. First, she went to Anne's room, found the hidden locker key, opened the drawer, took the real will, and hid it on her. Before she could get away, Richard and Dr. Maida spotted her and chased her. Dr. Maida, holding the poison syringe, ran after Laura through the corridors. Ben appeared and tried to protect Laura, pulling the doctor away. The syringe accidentally injected Ben instead. Ben collapsed and died in front of Laura. Laura, terrified and heartbroken, jumped into the freezing ocean to escape. Richard believed she would not survive the cold water, but Laura fought her way to shore and reached a small house, where she stayed through the night. Meanwhile, Richard arrived at the public event, preparing to announce the false will. The girl, dressed as Anne, stepped onto the stage and began reading the speech Richard had given her. Before she could continue, Laura entered the venue, shocking all of them. Richard had believed she was dead. Laura demanded the microphone. Richard tried to stop her, but the girl insisted that Laura should be allowed to speak. Laura revealed Anne's real will to everyone, the one stating that all property would go to the trust. Laura asked the girl, in front of everyone, if she had written the false letter herself. The girl admitted it. Richard lost control and shouted that the woman on stage was not Anne at all. In that moment, his deception was revealed. Everyone understood that Richard must have killed his wife and replaced her with a lookalike to seize her wealth. Realizing he was exposed, Richard grabbed the girl and held a knife to her, dragging her outside. Security fired a shot at him but missed. Richard continued fleeing, but Laura ran after him and struck him with a metal bar, knocking him unconscious. The girl survived. Richard was arrested. Laura had proven that the girl from cabin 10 existed, that a murder had taken place on the yacht, and that Richard was responsible. Her task was complete. Her trip ended, and she returned to work. Laura wrote an article about everything that had happened. The article went viral. In it, she described each person involved and shared her grief for Ben, who had died trying to protect her. Laura knew she would never forget Ben or the sacrifices he made.